Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Tonight is another match in the eSailing Nations Cup 2024, and it's none other than Sweden versus Switzerland. With me tonight is going to be Alberto. As usual, Alberto, how are you doing?
Hi, Oscar. I'm doing well, and hope we will have an amazing night tonight.
I think we will. I think it's going to be a very close matchup. Sweden versus Switzerland. I don't see any clear winners. I mean, for me, I think it's going to be a close match, close races. And we're starting off with a 2v2 mixed star in the N shape course.
Yeah.
So we have Lagern, also known as I forgot his other name.
Confluencia.
Exactly, Confluencia, and Yuzu on the Swiss side, and SGR88 and ILCA on the Swedish side. So I'm going to say two very strong female players that we've seen several times in the steering the course, but also in some normal challenge finals or semifinals. We've seen Yuzu in the grand final last year, and we're seeing seeing SGR88 in this year's final.
Yeah, it's correct. We are having the top female here playing, and I'm really looking for. Oh,
And the
what
race has
happened?
just started, and two penalties for the two Swiss players for Yuzu and Legern, and I'm gonna just check on the chat real quick. The best sailor, Rommel, nice to see you in there. I wonder if Dr. Cruel is in this. Is Dr. Cruel playing tonight?
I think so. Yeah, he will be
Let me
playing.
check.
I will tell you when. If you want to continue to
Sure.
commentate, he will play the 3v3 mix. He will play the 5v5 offshore, and he will play the 4v4 F50.
Right, so he is playing tonight as the captain
Yeah, but who wrote it?
of
Yeah,
the Swedish. This is in the
who
chat. So we
wrote
have
it?
the best sailor 225 asking this question with Rommel,
Okay.
and Swede sailor just confirming what you
Because
just said.
yeah, because Roman will be playing with Dr. Krull 2 times out of the three. That's
Right.
why I'm asking.
And I'm seeing quite a few follows as well. Kenny MSI, Black Forest Boy, and Jersey BW Real. Thank you for the follow. Nice to have you in here. So we see Lagern a bit alone on his on the right side over here as they're going to approach the mark. This is the N shape, so it's going to be different than what you're used to see in the normal green challenges on Virtual Regatta inshore, where you would normally leave the marks on port. N shape, you're going to leave these upwind marks on starboard, meaning a team races, so it's going to be closer to match racing. And it's going to be this short upwind, 2 reachings, and a long downwind in the middle upwind finish. So it's going to change a lot compared to what we're used to. We've seen some very exciting finishes in already the past few matches that have happened. The matches that have happened, we've seen Italy versus France, which was a wash from Italy 7-0 against France.
Yeah.
And we've seen a very close match, Poland versus Germany.
Yeah, that one was amazing.
On Sunday.
Oh, wrong mark.
And
wrong
I
mark.
think that's a missed mark from ILCA, or is that just the ping on our side? It might be the ping on our side.
Yeah, it's ping on our side. Even you saw it from the other side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to be sure that it was not only me.
Just
I
gonna
believe there
answer.
will be.
Yeah, go for it.
No. There will be a nice match tonight because here Swedish did a lot of team racing here against Yuzu, while Lagan was left alone, or left her alone. Now, same things happen on the other side with Lagan alone and SGR attacking him. I believe it would be amazing. You can go.
Yeah, well, this is gonna be the downwind. This is likely gonna decide what happens next because it's gonna be a lot harder to catch up if you're behind at the end of the downwind. Because after that's an upwind. So if you're in the front, it's going to be easier for you to control the fleet by putting them in the wind shadows and tacking over them. Jersey, BW Real, how to get involved. So this is the Nations Cup, so it's actually via the M&As. So World Sailing contacts different M&As around the world to try to invite them in these competitions. So with this, they can have a national championship and they can participate in the Nations Cup amongst other small benefits. So it's just a matter of the M&A signing up to be part of an eSailing M&A.
Yep. If you want to explain what is an M&A, maybe people that are not so involved.
Yeah, so M&A is actually
not know.
the national federation of the country. So if we were to take England, for example, the British M&A would be the RYA, Royal Yacht Association, I think it is.
Yeah,
And I'm just going to
correct.
focus on the battle
Italy
over
will
here between
be
ILCA and
FFG.
Yuzu. Both backtracking a bit, not going to round the mark, trying to go and help their teammate, make sure that they get the correct position before heading into this reaching and then upwind. And yeah, I was going to say as well, go for it.
From SGR. Look here, SGR take the inside. She is taking the inside over Yuzu. Great position for the Swedish. Penalty here, and I believe here is a match for the Swedish. What do you think?
I believe you are correct. I think it's going to be impossible possible. It's going to be very hard for the Swiss to come back. Both Swedish are in front of the Swiss, meaning that when they head over into the upwind, they're going to be above them and can wind shadow them and put more distance even with the Swiss. So as long as they control them, they don't really need to be mindful of the shifts. Just as long as they stay above the other Swiss players, they should be good.
Yeah.
And how well are the rules applied compared to real world team match racing? So not sure how to answer this question. It's the
if you want,
same.
I can answer on a good way. The rules work fine. The problem is the tactic and the strategy is a little bit different because here both can pass through one each other. And this one gives you a whole way to apply the same rules with a different approach. And in that way, eSailing is becoming its own sport. You can learn the basics of team racing here, but if you want to apply all of them, you cannot, because going transparent inside the boat, you cannot actually do it. So except that, I think they're fine. What do you think?
Correct. So I was going to go a bit in that same direction. Basically, rules are a bit like the same in a fleet racing, but you wouldn't have necessarily, for example, mark trap is authorized in team racing, so you can't stop at the mark and penalize the other boats. And well, compared to resailing, obviously there's no physical contact between the boats, as Alberto quite said. So it's definitely with the strategy, and you'll see several times throughout this match, some boats will come back to help their teammates and not finish as fast as possible. And this goes with also how the points are scored in team racing. So I'm going to go over that in during the next race. And while we're saying that SGR88 and ILCA have finished the race, 1 and 2 for Sweden, 3 and 4 for Switzerland. So it's going to be a 1-0 for Sweden at the start. Confirmation of the scores over here. And we'll head over to race number 2 in 3 minutes at 12 to be precise.
Perfect. Next one is a 3v3 with ILCA. So I believe we are waiting for another big match where the downwind is the predominant part of the race. I am not sure though if we will see a start that a nice start that was like in this one, because this one we have all the people tied up, same points and stuff like that. It was really interesting, rather than we had a lot of match racing also during the upwind. Was a really nice match. what are we expecting here? Because at the moment we can see the roster. We have Furan, Faitan, and Seabear from the Swedish, and Moonflower, Onyx, and Flying Palomino for the Swiss. Onyx and Flying Palomino did the final of the Swiss Championship this year. Not an amazing day for them, but they're still the strongest, one of the strongest players they have in Switzerland. I do not remember, to be honest, Moonflower. Do you know anything about him?
Moonflower, I've seen them in their national championship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember seeing them in anywhere else apart from that. But then we do see a lot of players, so we don't remember everyone. And start procedure has been given for race number 2 3v3 ILCA.
Yeah. So actually, he's a really, really old player, Moonflower. Started since 2020, the first eSailing championships. There is a nice, good team, a good block of sailor coming from Switzerland, and Nations Cup 2022, Nations Cup 2021, final this year, final in 2020. He did also the playoff in 2021. So
okay, so quite the player actually, who has a lot of experience in the game.
Yeah.
15 seconds to start as the boats position themselves, and we see one Swedish player on the left over here trying to do maybe a pin and start. Watch out for the penalty start. It will be penalized.
Amazing start here for the Swedish.
Amazing start from Furan. A penalty on a Flying Palomino over here. And this is quite mixed. We have two Swiss going on the left over here, with Seabear and Fashtan going towards the right, both above Flying Palomino.
It's difficult to get this one because Moonflower is not ahead enough to be a menace to Furan and Seabear. And Onyx and Flying Palomino are not that close to Phaeton to stop him. So, seems this is definitely a great start from the Swedish, with a poor start from Furan, and I believe was Seabear blocking Flying Palomino. Well, I do not allow him to give him a penalty. Really nice team race done in this case.
Yeah, looks like the Swedish have positioned themselves in a pretty good position, as they're gonna soon get to the first mark for the reaching and the downwind. But once they go into the downwind, if the Swiss are not too far behind, they're going to be able to catch up thanks to the wind shadow. So Flying Palomino might be a bit far, but they still have Moonflower and Onyx still in the mix, who can try to slow them down. I was gonna talk previously about how the points are scored in team racing. So it's like fleet racing, where your position equals the number of points you get. So if you arrive first, you get 1 point. Second, you get 2 points. Third, 3 points, etc. And then the team score, as Moonflower had a bit of difficulty trying to dodge and tack because of passing head to wind and slowing down a bit too much, meaning that the Swedish sailors are almost safe, maybe from the wind shadow. Looks like Furan is just out of Onyx's wind shadow.
Yeah, and this is a small mistake about the Swedish. If it was me, I will be Furan. I will stop there. I will create a bigger gap for the 1 and 2, to make sure that you are sure to have the 1 and 2.
Yep.
At the moment, it's pretty safe, but it's not completely safe. So, in this way, they're really, really close. There's 42 meters between the boat, 38, they cover each other. So they are safe from the wind shadow. And I was not expecting a race like this. What do you think about this
I
second
think
race?
Sweden has come in very strong. A great start in the first race, a great start in the second race as well. That's going to be likely a 1-2-3 at the end of this one, meaning that they start this matchup with 2-0. It's 7 races in total. Every race counts because depending on how much you win by or lose by, it's going to bring you a different amount of points. And that's going to change how you tally up at the end of this round robin stage. But that's a very strong start and a very good start for the Swedish players, showing that they are capable of team racing, as you should.
But I want to remember everyone, this is the first part of the Nations Cup, counts for seeding purposes to make sure people are coming trained and ready to fight for the last event. So in this way, we'll have nicer races when actually there will be the in and out kind of situation.
Yep.
At the moment, I would say 1, 2, 3, and really, really amazing start from the Swedish that they destroyed the Swiss.
Yeah, I think that was a
in the
practice
first few
start.
seconds. Yeah.
It looked like they knew what they were doing and they knew what they wanted to do and just pulled that off perfectly.
Yeah, and that's how it should be in the team racing. You go for tactics, you go for strategies, you plan it ahead. You make sure not only that you go fast, that you are a good sailor about here, but you're sure that like you have the schematics, you have plans that have to work, and if they do not work, how to sort it out. This kind of a situation allow you to be the best in team racing. And the example is Italy versus France, where the French are definitely the favorite to win this event, but they didn't train enough. So they are not prepared on the schematics part, and for the first match they have a small hiccup. But I'm pretty sure that
And
this is going
Bahtan
to
had
change.
a little issue, cannot get around past this this finish line. This is the upwind start, but that doesn't really matter because they do have 1 and 2 for Sweden, so it is a win no matter what. And it's going to be 3, 4, and 6 for Swiss. I'm gonna reply to what you just said. I partly disagree with what you said about France being the favorites. I think Italy were the favorites winning last year.
On one side, I agree with you. On the other side, France have always have the top player on a fleet, in the fleet part. Think about how strong is Tristan, Alex Kowalski, both a former world sailing champion. You have Pepito that is super fast. And just those 3 players are another category compared to all the other Italian. But said that, Italy have a more structure, invest more on coaches and training. So in another way, Italy compensate the issue regarding not having the strongest player on having a stronger team kind of thing.
I'm gonna completely agree with you over there. Great players doesn't necessarily mean a great team race. Where
Exactly.
you have to
That's
work
exactly what I
together,
want.
and
What I meant.
winning being fast isn't necessarily the best strategy, especially where if you have a tie in points in team race, the team which does not have the first place actually loses.
Yeah.
So if, for example, in a 2v2, it's a 1-4 versus a 2v3, the 2v3 will actually take it over here. And we're going to head over to round number 3 in just under 2 minutes for a 4v4 in J70. This one is going to be very interesting. I'm just going to check an eye as well on the chat. I think I've probably missed a few messages and people who have joined us. Nice to see you in there, Jer7, Chris 1707, Peterson, Mary Wes. Sorry if I'm butchering your names. Do let me know how to pronounce it if I'm mispronouncing it. And Tylon X, Tylon X. Nice to see you all over here. So currently we're at 2-0 for Sweden versus Switzerland. Next up 4v4 J70. And looking at
Yeah.
the lineups, what can we say about it?
Ooh. Celestial was really strong. Alocomore, Sweet Sailor, really strong. Dinosaur. Dinosaur is Bruno. He's one of the head of the eSailing for Switzerland, and I believe he is really strong too, especially a little bit more in team racing. This will be a strange race because some of the player I never have the opportunity to race against. Probably a newer player or player that play in a different time. I guess me. So if you don't mind, for example, Yoko, new player, first race done, I believe was the private race that we're recording is 2024. So really, really new player.
So yeah, so a couple of new faces, a couple of save faces that we already recognize. I think this is a toss-up. 20
Yeah.
seconds almost until the start. Will we see another
For
kind of
example,
practice
yeah,
start from Sweden or Switzerland? We do see one boat close to the pin end over there.
seems the Swedish are kind of early. Let's see if they can pack the stuff and avoid
Yeah,
to get any penalties.
and it's a go. That might be a misstart from Heimat, who's going to have to go back behind the line
Yeah.
to round it. That's going to put Switzerland in a more difficult position. But according to the ranking on the right, it is Yin Yang, the Swiss player, leading the fleet, although it is very close between these 4 boats that you see on your screen right now.
Yeah. And penalty here.
And a penalty as they tacked into the other boats.
Probably they want to split it. They want to make sure that Celestial over there take on the Sweet Sailor. To be honest, there is a right wing shift coming. To be honest, so actually the position of Heimat is not that bad, and Celestial here have had the opportunity to block all of the other, but should be more aggressive, I believe. Wow. Celestial have to thank Yoko from the attack.
Well, it is different, if you're not used to team racing, team race is a lot more, well, you can be a lot more aggressive than a normal fleet
Yeah,
race.
that's
Is it
actually my
allowed and
advantage
is
because
it encouraged? And Yoka is actually coming back near Celestial Storm. And
yeah, but look at Dinosaur coming super fast here over Sea Bear.
and Seabear is going to have to do something that was very close.
Yeah, but the Dinosaur in that case have to close the gap to make sure that Seabear cannot do that. He has to bear away a little bit when you see like Seabear attacking. Look like this, tack, penalty to Seabear, and you have one behind. Now you just need to take another one because with the
from
7,
and
8,
we're
you're
gonna
going to win.
get close to the mark over here. Are we gonna see any mark traps or anything? Looks like we won't. We do see Yoko pushing who's it next to him? Celestial Storm.
Yeah.
A bit away as they launch the SPE and head over to the next mark, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 at mark number 2 for Sweden.
Yeah. Yeah, but in this case, it's not close yet. Celestial was kind of close. I do not understand why he didn't try this kite, but and now they need to make sure that the dinosaur and Yin Yang they are close to help him, but not that close that they will cover him. And so when he's going to jibe, he needs to go long and get out of his way and make sure that he's not B.
Yeah, and they're all going towards the wind pressure.
Yeah.
At the top of your screen, right over there.
And actually, Sea Bear is doing the Swiss thing because it was helping to get them close. Amazing jibe about dinosaur, and
Great
now it's
attack.
time for a song for the attack.
Great attack
Let's see
from
how it's going.
Mats. And what's happening over there is Celestial Storm managing to slow down the Swedish players.
Yeah, but dinosaur is covering him. Dinosaur is covering him.
I was looking at the wind speeds, well, at the speeds of the boats, and they were quite close, and that was because Celestial Storm was also being slowed down. That's something you actually need to be careful of in team racing. You want to penalize and slow down your opponents, but you have to keep clear of your teammates so that they can sail clear and sail fast.
Yeah. Let's see if the Celestial have an opportunity over Yoko.
Can the Swiss win if they manage to push Yoko further back?
Yeah. The problem is the Swiss are covering each other. And I believe 1, 2, 3 here is another Swedish point.
Yeah, it is also a fairly new course. The N shape has only been introduced for maybe 1 or 2 months now. It is available in custom races, so if you want to train yourself on the N shape course for team racing, you absolutely can. Get some friends and practice together.
Yeah.
So it is different from what they were used to, which was a downwind finish. And usually, well, in the previous Nations Cup, most of the like deciding action happened on the last downwind, especially with with the Star and the ILCA. A bit more balanced with the J70, but it still kind of applies. The best sailors, sorry I'm asking again, but how can you enter this kind of racing? I'm from England. So if you want to enter like team racing competitions, the community does organize quite a lot of events. I think you have the Discord server called TRL, which is like the team racing league. So you can get close to other players that are also part in there, and I think that's a really fun way, well, to practice your team racing skills and just meet new players and have this other dimension to the game. But in terms of participating
but also,
if
you are a sailor, I would recommend you to get to the Airway and get in touch with them and ask their eSailing program and how to be part of it. This is the way to do it. And from where? From London, from England, because here I'm speaking from London. You're from Paris, so
exactly. We didn't ask. Where are you guys from in the chat?
Yeah, we can ask where are you guys from. I believe we have a lot of Swedish here tonight.
Oh, we did see Tweed Sailor in the chat when he's not racing. So 1, 2, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3 for the Swedish.
Yeah. And is confirmed 1, 2, 3, 8. No, probably 7. Let's see what's happened with Seabear now. Yeah, 1, 2.
So yeah, the best sailor basically for the Nations Cup, it's M&A related, so your national federation related. So you can get close to them. World Sailing also does that every year, contacting these M&As to get them on board this eSailing program. And Jersey is from Jersey, but in Bristol.
Okay. So that's really.
And there we have it. So 1, 2, 3, and 7 for Sweden.
So 13
and 4, 5, 6, 8 for Switzerland.
We're seeing a 7-0.
I don't think we're seeing a 7-0. I think Switzerland is going to wake up. And what's the race over here? It's the 5v5.
Yeah, the offshore boats.
And the offshore race with very light winds.
Yeah.
And race
so
is
if you
going to
want, I
start.
can.
Yeah, go for it.
I can introduce a little bit the boats. So here we have the offshore boat model on the RC44, I believe. We decided to go on really, really light wind, so we have a short upwind leg like before. The course is the same, but is focusing on the downwind with not much wind. This boat can slow each other a lot. So we are going to see a lot of people trying to go on a path during the downwind to try to keep the boat as fast as they can. But we'll see also a lot of match between the boats to make sure the boats are covering each other and they are slowing each other down really, really a lot.
Yep. And I'm going to
So
say it
here
is.
you need to tell me how to pronounce the name of the French-speaking Swiss, because
So you pronounce that Sisawe.
Sisawe.
Sisawe. And
That
it
means?
basically means that's it. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Okay.
And Sisawe is known as Kulu 8 on the Discord, and he's also an offshore sailor.
Yep. Here we have the first race of Dr. Cruel of the night, the captain of the Swedish team, Swedish sailor Faitan, Foil, and Furan. Quebec 24, Celestial Storm, Dinosaur, Heimat, and Quebec, and the What? Sorry, my French is not really good.
All good, all good. So start procedure has been given. This 5v5 in the offshore racer. Offshore racer is actually a pretty particular boat because, well, as you said about all the wind behavior and on lower winds, it's also a very long
And to
boat.
be honest, the bowsprit there is amazing. That gives you that meter that you cannot see. The most troublesome. That's why it's one of the boats that I prefer. I used to be an aggressive sailor in the matter of team racing, and having that bowsprit allow you to, give the penalty that nobody thought about. You see, exactly like Sweet Sailor get a penalty here for the same reason. 10 seconds to go. 7. A lot of Swiss in penalty.
And so we see an out from Heimat. That's likely due to the bowsprit again.
Yep.
Sisawe completely on the left over there.
Yeah, with the left wheel shift coming, he is going to be the boat to beat. And this is a difficult to understand because if the left wing shift is staying, SWE, it will be the first one. If a right wing shift is coming, Quebec 24 can come in and get a major advantage. But
what Fashan has done, forcing SUI away from the mark and therefore giving a lot of room for his two teammates,
yeah,
Furan
that's probably too
and
much,
Sweet
to be
Sailor.
honest.
And watch out for the friendly
Penalty
fire over
between,
here from Quebec 24 on Suicidal Storm. And it's not over yet for the Swiss. Sweden
no,
does have one in
actually,
queue,
having
but
a Dr.
245
Krull
for
and
Swiss.
foil the.
Yep.
Having Dr. Krull behind and foiled, give them some possibilities. You see, penalty to foil. I have to tell you the 12 over there was amazing. And you can see over here, Phyton is going really, really slow. Everyone tried to find the penalty for Dr. Krull for being too aggressive.
Yep.
You can see foiled Dr. Krull in the
And
last
we
two
see
position. At the moment, I'm not saying that he's winning for the for the Swiss, but is not that bad. Probably they're a couple of points behind, but they have to stop covering each other.
yeah, the fleet stays quite compact.
Yeah.
So
That's the beauty of the offshore with 12, 13 knots. Compact fleet, a lot of battles. Look at Dinosaur that's pushing a Heimat, Dr. Krull and foiled. Nice penalty to Sweet Sailor.
Bit of issues with the spectator mode.
Quebec. Quebec is doing an amazing job. Both penalties for both the top Swedish player here. Celestial Storm keeping the 4th position. Let's see what Dinosaur can do. He has the inside over there. He can get the 7th position. 5, 11, 18, 20. Too many penalty right now. I was doing the calculation to understand who is going to win. Quebec is definitely going too far away. You need to come back to have them, their teammates. 1, 4, 10, 11, 20, 28 is 28 for the Swedish. You win with 25 under. 28 for the Swiss, sorry. Let's see the battle here between the 5th and the 6th. The 6th and the 7th, sorry. Heimat needs some help. 9:15, 16, 26, 24 at the moment.
It's going to be very
It's
tight
really
if the
close.
Swiss can get some of the early places and push some of the Swedish back. It's definitely going to be good for them.
Nice penalty to Furan. Second position for Swedish Sailor, but after that, it's only Swiss. I believe we have the first Swiss point, my friend. 1, 3, 4, 8, 13, 23. Yes, first point for the Swiss guys. just before the 9v9.
And there we have it indeed. 1, 3, 4, 5, and 10 for Swiss, Switzerland. And 2, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And that's what I
For
love
Sweden.
about the new encores that we have. The new encores allow the Swiss that were losing, not much, but they were losing, give a penalty to Furan, allow everybody to get back. And nice one.
And Missigil Boomer, thank you for the follow. Anyway, 1 more minute to go in this 9v9, and it's actually 46, so it is a go. All players are in, if I'm not mistaken.
All the players in?
Yep, all the players in, so let's start.
What we need to expect here, we are waiting to see where the big path will come. This one will be the most things that all the sailor will look for. Will be amazing to be in their chat, hearing their wording, understand what is their tactics, be with them, understand how they want to prepare themselves, which position they want to keep. In this way we can understand better, but I believe everybody will try to start on the race committee boat and then tack and get the right wing shift, the left wing shift, and the right path.
I just see
Let's see who can do it.
Marmeister in the Swedish team who was in the chat earlier on.
Yep.
15 seconds. How do you think this is going to go? Do you think we're going to see some team tactics, or do you think everyone will just more or less sail their own race?
It's a really, really fast race. So probably everybody will try to sail their own race. But if they have the opportunity, they try to keep penalties and making sure that the other are doing the same with the opponent team.
Yeah, and we see the fleet kind of dividing
so
in
at the moment we
two
have
at first,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the Swedish, but the right wing shift is going to change everything.
Yep.
So Rommel at the moment is going to take. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say with the 49er, especially the upwind shifts are going to matter a lot.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to kind of catch this wind, catch the caress shift, because as you said, it's going to be a very fast race. It's a very fast boat. With a small wind shadow, so most of the difference is going to be with key decision taking. As we see Fashtan kind of alone on the left side over here, getting into that wind pressure. Most of the fleet is in the center or on the right, going towards the wind pressure, but might be a bit too late. Difference from the previous courses. So as we said, this is not the N-shaped one this time. It's the normal upwind, downwind. Which means that the first mark over here is going to be left on port. So players should be wary of that and not fall in the trap of rounding the mark the wrong way.
I was expecting more team race done by the Swedish over Onyx on the left-hand side. He is like one of the few players that are in the lead for the Swiss team, and a penalty would have changed a lot. At the moment, we have Rommel in the lead, the second position for Swiss sailor. Then we have 2 Swiss, a penalty, but there's no way. There's nothing he can do.
With friendly fire, sorry.
Yeah.
We do see a bit of Swiss at the bottom of the ranking. Like,
but even
also Storm Quebec, but Foiled One is also right there.
Yeah. It's hard to say. I believe Onyx right now is in a good position. Flying Palomino is going to a really nice fast path, going to cover Sweet Sailor, penalty
Yep.
for Flight Palomino.
And that's it. I do have to say that I have the impression that the Swedish are a bit more aggressive than the Swiss.
Yeah, that's absolutely totally in. Look at Onyx. That is
And
the
I have to say
Onyx
that
that I
Onyx
remember.
attacked Meermeister, and that is a great move by him, putting Meermeister a couple of places down the ranking
Yeah.
to get a couple of his teammates up in the top 10. So we do still see 4 Swedish in the top 5.
Yeah. But we have two Swedish in the bottom,
But
so
it's
you
yeah, but
know.
it's 5 and 5 in the top 10. So it is still kind of balanced,
Yeah,
and maybe too
exactly.
early to say.
Yeah, it's too early to say. Swedish have definitely a small advantage because they have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. But having 16 and 17 is not helpful. A small penalty would change everything. Overfly Palomino there with Phaeton. Yeah, exactly. They're a little bit scared to go for a full dial down and like give penalty, but it's the things that you need to do now.
Yeah, but it might be a bit risky.
Yeah, but
Since it's a
if you don't race
9v9,
now,
it's a lot harder to control really where your
yeah,
teammates are and who should finish where and all that. If it was like a 3v3, 4v4, I guess it's a lot easier to say, okay, well, we already have one player ahead. That's fine. That's safe. I can focus on the back now. I think it's a lot
yeah.
harder to see these kind of, or to see and to make these kind of decisions in a big fleet of 99, and it is still
Uh,
the Rommel trains, sorry, Alacamore and Sweet Sailor in the top 3, flying
yeah.
Palomino in 4th, chased by 2 other Swedish, Vashtan and Yoko, with Onyx right behind them.
To be honest, I do not understand the flying Palomino at the moment. The Swedish are winning. You need to do a mark trap, stop Yoko and Phaeton, and so Onyx and like reiterate rather than he's going for the 4th position. He's fine with it. They're trying to calculate the points, but definitely the points right now are on the Swedish side.
It does look like it. We see a 6 Swedish in the top 10.
Mm.
But then Sweden currently has the last 2 positions.
Yeah. I totally agree, but I have like 6 boats in the top 8. That's too much. That's definitely too much. Mm. We need to count the top 9. That is the half of the fleet in this moment. Swedish have the points.
I think I agree. We'll have the confirmation once everyone passes this finish line, but that might end up in a 4-1 for Sweden.
Yep.
We're still not safe from the 4-3. We did see a 4-3 in Germany versus Poland, which was very
Yep.
tight racing. So Switzerland did wake up for the previous race in the 4v4, and we're going to a 3v3 mixed race right after that. As we have a look at the ranking, so it is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 5, 6
8,
for
9.
Sweden, 8, 9, and 17, 18.
Yeah, correct.
Great. It is 58. 6 players are in, so it's a go for race number 6 in the 3v3 mixed J70. So Rommel, SGR, Dr. Cool on the Swedish side, and Sisawe, Yin Yang, and Yuzu on the Swiss side.
This is a tough one, my friend. This is
Yep,
really
yeah,
a tough one. Rommel
impossible to
is
say.
a really strong sailor. Seskawa is also another strong sailor. So Dr. Kur is the captain of the Swedish team. Ying Yang, to be honest, I do not know him really well. Do you know anything about him?
Which ones are Yin Yang?
Yeah.
Same. I've seen him in the Swiss nationals. I think he performed rather okay.
Okay.
Um,
Do
and
you
we've seen
have
him in
to
the
jinx
previous race. Like he was at the top of the fleet, I believe, in the previous race.
Yeah.
But penalty for Yin Yang and penalty for Rommel, sorry.
Yeah.
And a penalty start for Rommel, meaning that he took a penalty between minus 14 and minus 3 seconds,
Ooh.
and decided to took another penalty while in that penalty, and then crossed the start line on the port side, which the game considers that a penalty start.
Yeah.
Looking at the chat, Donnie, if you have a link for the British Discord server, you can send it to me, and I can try to send it in the Twitch chat. You might be censored if you do it yourself by the Nightbot or the Automod on the Twitch chat. So if it doesn't show up, I can always send it.
There
In the
is the
meantime,
revenge from Rommel on Yin Yang. So it was a really good start from the Swiss, but I believe right now the Swedish are coming back strong, and we will see what's going to happen because at the moment Yuzu and SGR are the two in the lead.
yep. And if we stay with these standings, it's going to be just shifted. But you have to be 10 points or less, right? In a 3v3.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So 1-2 and 1-3 always win. 2-3-5 is a winning one.
So as you round the mark, we're back
Amazing
on the end shape. So
Yuzu
mark on
avoid the
starboard.
penalties.
Yeah, we're gonna have a very interesting duo at the front over here between SGR and Yuzu. And we do see Sisawe right behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donnie, I think your link might have been censored, so you can send it to me and to me, Oscar, and I'll send it on the Twitch chat. And Batista Boy and Jorge O'Neill and Turbo Flip and KDA026. Thank you for the follows. Sorry I missed it.
At the moment, I see a battle for Yuzu and also a nice position for Seskawa because he's on the wind. He's going faster than the other. He's going to cover all the opponents. Penalty for Yin Yang. Yuzu is not in really a good position. Thankfully for her, Roman trains allow her to run away a little bit, but Yuzu is in the middle between Dr. Krull and Rommel, and there's no way unless Yin Yang go to help her with Dr. Krull that she can keep the position.
It is very tight. We did see a bit of an attack over here between SGR88 and Sisawe.
Yeah.
And as you said, Yuzu here on the left is a bit pinned between Rommel and Krull, Dr. Krull. And an attack from Dr. Krull onto Yin Yang means that Yin Yang will get a penalty. And Yuzu.
The Swiss, they decided to leave the first.
Well, if they can get the 2-3-4, they're fine.
Yeah, exactly. That is a 3 versus 2. It's not a bad idea for the Swiss. But at the moment seems became a 1-2-3 for the Swedish.
Yeah, but I do think the Swiss are in a good position to reach the mark first, as SUI puts a penalty on SGR 88,
Amazing job from him.
and it's two Swiss. Well, one Swiss managed to round the mark completely. SUI, Yuzu had to go a bit broader and give a bit
Yeah,
more
but
space
SUI
to avoid the
problems for her.
penalty. SGR wasn't a penalty, took the kite down maybe a bit too late.
Yep.
And there is a
Ooh.
attack between Krul and Yin Yang. Great play from Yin Yang onto putting a penalty onto Dr. Krul.
Yeah.
And so now, well, the strategy for the Swiss is to finish 1 and 2. Yuzu can probably stay behind and try to wreak havoc onto the Swedish fleet, just to make sure that that the two teammates are able to finish 1 and 2 comfortably. Even though
To be
apparently
honest,
it
I
became a
see a problem
1-2-3.
for Ying and Yang because if the right wheel shift is coming, Dr. Krul, no, Dr. Krul,
Well, Dr. Krul did put a penalty on
Rommel is
Yuzu.
really close. Yeah. The thing is the Roman with versus Yin Yang. If the right wheel shift is coming and you get it, no, it's fine. Nice, a second point for Switzerland here.
Yep. I'm still believing in that 4-3. We're gonna focus on Yin Yang over here, attacking over Rommel to force him to attack again. And it can be tight with Dr. Cool, or even Rommel. Sisawa is going to finish first, that's for sure, but Yin Yang is going to have to attack once more.
Yeah. But I believe he's
No, I think it's fine. I think Yin Yang
yeah,
is
it's fine, but it's
good.
not
But it was it was very well
feels bit
played
closer,
from
right?
was it Yin Yang who put the penalty at the mark
Yeah.
on SGR 88. So that was very well played from him.
Yeah, definitely that one is going to the highlights.
Yeah.
That was
And
a
so
really
it's
nice
a 1-2-6 for Switzerland. Well played by them.
9-12.
Yep. And 3-4-5 for Sweden.
And here we have the results 4-2 Sweden. I believe in the 4-3, to be honest. But I want to have I want to see what is going to happen.
Yeah,
Because this one will be
F50 is going to be a very fast, a very tough and technical race. The start is going to matter a lot. Especially that it's not necessarily the classical reaching course.
Yep.
In the sense where you have a smaller starting area than the one we're used to. And maybe a tighter boundaries as well, I think.
Yeah. The starting line is much shorter than the previous one. So this one will make some problems to the.
And all right, it is 20, all 8 players in. It's a go for race number 7, 4v4 F50. And so we're going to have to coach Krul to tell him when he's going to reach the boundaries.
So tell them to to join the live event.
So I'm sure they have their own voice chat.
Yeah, I know it's a fair it's not a fair advantage. 40 seconds to the start. Left wheel shift coming. So normally you start underneath the pin, so you can like throw people out. But if the left wing shift is coming, it's better to start up to the risk committee, and we'll see who will be doing this.
Well, we do see the classical start for the F50. So F50 being a very fast boat, and with the reaching start, you want to get as much speed as possible when you hit that start line, which is why they start far away to get up to speed. And we see a
Look into
penalty
the
given onto
start.
Yin Yang, and a great start from Sweden over here. Penalty from Romo trains onto Legern, and it's going to be a 1-2 at the first mark for Sweden. Can a flying Palomino push Legern away? Sorry, Romo away, and he cannot. He takes a penalty. So a tough start for the Swiss.
Yeah, but it's not finished yet, my friend.
And it's not
They
finished
still
yet. It
have
is
Dr.
just the
Kuri in
start.
really bad position. Yuzo is over there. Lagern went in full berserk mode.
Yeah, he got a penalty. He put some friendly fire, but also got Yin Yang in the mix.
Yeah. Let's see if Yuzo finds the right area of the racing area. Probably going on the left wing shift if you can find the right
Yeah,
path.
and I think
This is
that's
a mistake from Rommel. It's really risky to let her go.
yeah, I was gonna say it's a good thing for Yuzu. I think when you're behind like this, you might as well try something completely different and hope for the best.
Yeah.
Because you can't catch up by following them in an upwind like that. So
Yeah.
maybe the
And you
shift
can
will be
see
favorable
Rommel
for
is
her.
doing a lot of tacks.
Yep.
So he's losing a lot of meters. And he tacked too early, so he has to do another 2 tacks. Yuzo will be really, really close. Look.
Yeah, she did manage
Dr.
to.
Crowley is already the last position. If somebody can manage to put Rommel in the second to last, this is something that can work for the Swiss. Look, Yuzo, bam, hit it.
And a good penalty from Yuzu onto Romo trains,
Yeah.
which is going to give a bit of breathing space for her teammates. And the aim now would be to push Rommel as far back as possible.
Yeah.
And keep Rommel
Without
and Fool in these last positions.
Yeah. And let's see when Furan and Sieber are coming to help them. Because even coming back to help them is risky, because if you lose 1 and 2, it could be a mess.
1 and 2, 3, 10, 18. What's the points to get?
Ooh, penalty Yuzu.
So you have to be less
Is
than
18.
yeah. So you not
18.
7 and 8s, basically.
Exactly. And the only thing is flying Palomino at the moment. But if he can catch the left wing shift and cross in front of Rommel, he can have some chance. Not sure if Rommel is actually that far ahead of him, because he's on the left wing shift, but he's on the right part of the
Yeah,
racing area.
and he won't be
Look
able to
how
go
back he's
straight.
going back now.
Yeah, he's gonna have to avoid the corner of the boundary over here. It
Yeah.
looks like he has just enough speed to pass in front of Palomino. But he is going to have to tack again.
Yeah.
And they have to get Rommel over here.
Yeah, it's
Like
fine.
Romel has escaped. It looks like it will be a 1-2-3 for Sweden.
Yeah, one, two,
4, 5,
three,
6
seven.
for Switzerland, 7 for Sweden, and 8 for Switzerland, according to the ranking on the left currently. Let's see what's happening with Dr. Cruel. And yep, it's going to be like that.
Yeah. So I would say congratulations to the Swedish team. Nice victory, even if his count only as 5-2 is similar as a 4-3. But
So that's a narrow win for, we called that a narrow win
yeah, for the Swedish.
for the Swedish.
Yeah, well done, Chris. Sweden 5, Swiss 2. Prediction right. Congratulations. I said 4-3. I was wrong.
And here is the final score for the night. We're gonna have a look at
yeah,
the standings, the standing board afterwards. So that's 3 matches done so far. There you go. So Italy. Well, after this first round, we still have Japan who didn't play yet.
yep,
So Japan is actually currently last, but because they haven't played. But it will be first place for Italy, second place for Sweden, third place for Germany, um, fourth place for Poland, fifth place for Sweden, sixth place for France, and seventh place for Japan.
yep.